and welcome to what is our second session of live stream Dungeons and Dragons, but our first that is being recorded. So if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome to the first Exemplary Friends recording. Yay! Applause noises.
We'll add that in post.
Exactly. So this session, as the foreseeable future sessions as well, is being DM'd by your good friend and mine, William,
Hello.
of Exemplary DM fame. I am, of course, co-host of Exemplary DM, Chad, and you also will recognize. You probably won't recognize.
No, probably not.
Probably not. Let's be
Eventually,
honest.
you'll begin to recognize our good friends Ian, who was one of our co-hosts in season 1 on the Exemplary DM podcast, and
Yay.
Hunter, who will be playing Cedrus, which is why his thing says Cedrus/Hunter. So here we go. We're trying out this new live streaming thing. So let us know if you like what you're seeing. Give us a little thumbs up there. Don't troll us, please, with all of your thumbs down nonsense. So let's give a brief little recap of our first session, which was unfortunately not recorded. So we started out with the following little intro. You slowly awake in a dark room, your head pounding and your body peppered with the stinging pins and needles sensations of many bruises. Your health is currently 1 below your bloodied level, and you have no daily powers yet. It is lit by a pair of torches near the door. 3 guards sit at the table. And then we had some guard action, which was nice. Did you see that one's eyes? That's unnatural. that was that one, right, William?
Doing really good. I think you should just go ahead and take over.
I was like, I thought a recap didn't read the entire session, what happened.
Yeah, no, it totally
Gives
does.
me
It
the
totally does.
fidgets.
That was a corpse. Smelled a rot. What old fist wants with it, I don't know. Gives me the fidgets.
Gives me the fidgets. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, and I'm not going to attempt the Scottish one because it would sound exactly like my Irish accent, which is to come later, and I don't.
Also,
want
it
to
was-
ruin
It's probably for the best.
Also, it was super inconsistently delivered by me.
It's like, I'm gonna roll a d20. If it hits 20, he will be Scottish. If not, he'll be normal.
Yeah, so essentially, the 3 of our characters, who are Cedrus the Imposter, the Satyr Bard, Lyeth Ridal, the Human Druid, and Kogan Dovahkiin, the Dragonborn Paladin, they found themselves in a jail cell. And that is where we began. So, does anybody else want to talk about what happened after?
Let's not talk about my intimidation checks ever.
Let's talk exactly about what happened with that.
Let's talk about the 2 ones that you rolled when trying to intimidate as a 7-foot-tall
I don't want to
dragon.
talk about those. I don't want to talk about those.
I had a bad experience.
So yeah, I guess I'll start talking. Basically, we were stuck in this jail cell and we didn't have anything, but the guards were kind of skittish already, so we ended up just scaring the crap out of them, and then Ian or Kogan ripped the bars open and kind of helped us bust our way out.
Mhm.
From there, we ended up going into kind of like a bookshelf area, which had most of our main equipment, but it did not have some very near and dear items, mainly my harp and Ian's kind of sword. It's not a
His sword that serves as a holy symbol rather
It
than
serves as
a
a sword.
functional weapon.
you can't hit people with it.
I can't hit people with it. It would break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's not
exactly.
really a sword. It's a sword-ish.
It's
So
a
anyway,
sword
so we got
facsimile.
that stuff.
It's paper mache.
Aww.
And then we ended up going through and trying to find our bearings in whatever dungeon we were in, which happened to be an old barracks for the people that I guess the Sultanate. Anyway, so we fought some of the old guards, which they were kind of wimpy, and they weren't actual guards for the Sultanate. They were like new people that had just started inhabiting it. We ended up not killing all of them because I didn't feel like we should kill all of them. And then Chad did some really cool stuff with some Sultanate cloth, so I guess you can take back over and talk about that.
That's right. That's right. So it turns out we are in the world of Queserios, which is a campaign setting that is of William's own creation that we've played in a number of times previously. And we are in a nation within Queserios referred to as the Sultanate. Unfortunately, it has come into some measure of ruin of late. And it's essentially just comprised of factions ruled by despots and tiny little areas. So the prison where we are is a fortress of the former Sultanate. A minor fortress, I would say, right? Is that accurate, William?
I would assume so.
Yeah, so you are in Ordfist's dungeon. We know that much at least. And you did discover that it was the fortress, an ancient fortress of the Sultanate. Well, ancient by means of 25 years ago when the country went to shit.
Exactly.
Dragons destroyed the infrastructure of the Sultanate and it was broken up into warlords. This fortress probably was one of the Sultan's outposts, and Ordfist has just kind of moved in more recently than 25 years ago.
Exactly. Yep. So essentially, we were able to find some of the old Sultanate tabards and things like that. So I was able to use my unseen servant ritual, which created basically an invisible guy that I draped the tabard over, and with my ritual and Cedrus's
acoustic ability.
Yep, there it is. Cedrus's bluffing and noise making and voicing and whatnot. We were able to scare off some of the guards and attack the rest. Just before I was unmercilessly slain in the first battle of the campaign, everything seemed to freeze. Time itself froze. All of the guards froze. We were able to move or no?
Yes,
we didn't move.
We were able to, but we did not.
Yeah, we were.
It was unfrozen. Kind of a slow-mo cutscene thing.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. But essentially, we were unfrozen. The rest of the world was frozen, and then appeared some weird-looking guy who seemed pretty imposing and came out of kind of a hidden space and had some words with us and basically said, "I'll give you some extra time now if you give me some of your time later." And before we had a chance to respond, we found ourselves transported to a grassy field.
Empty field, yeah.
Yep. And that is where we find ourselves now. Before we ended the last session, we did find out that there was some sort of structure to the east. So yep, that is now where we find ourselves, and we will commence the playing briefly.
Yes. So, you guys should all see a grassland right here.
Mhm.
This background in Roll20 kind of makes it difficult to overlay other things because the green overpowers other smaller lines. So we're not going to use that, but I did want to give the impression that you're in a green grassland. But
Okay.
also, I want to give the impression that you're not in a green grassland. You're in more of a goldeny, flaxen grassland of just high grasses.
Okay.
Amber waves of grain, if you will. America.
USA.
I'm thinking more of like an Elysian Fields kind of thing.
How about the dream sequences of Maximus in Gladiator, where he's running his hands
Game of
through
Thrones when they're going through the Dothraki Sea.
Yeah,
Perfect,
that's exactly
perfect.
what I was thinking of, the Gladiator.
So,
Perfect.
Yeah, me too, because I totally watched Game of
I
Thrones.
know, because you're a bad person.
Just golden waves and the gently rolling hills, not hills that you couldn't see over, but there's just kind of depressions and rises in the
Yeah, more
fields.
kind of like amber waves, would you say, of grain?
Of grain? Yeah. So off in the distance, obscured by the wavy heat of a mirage over gently rolling fields of golden waist-high grass, you see a typical Sultanate barn, indicative of the time of when this land was actively farmed 25 to 30 years ago.
Okay.
It is a high barn. Typically these barns, and you've seen or probably seen or been inside one at some point or another during your stay at the Sultanate. Maybe even hidden in one, depending on how you arrived here. Just it has a second floor to it, an open middle area, and a second floor used for storage, and ladders on either side. And usually a barn like this has windows on the second story, but not on the first. And a large sliding door that hangs on a rail.
Sure. Okay. I would like to go ahead and transform back to my human form. Yeah, exactly like that.
I think we should take a short rest because I feel pretty safe out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you feel secure enough. You feel that even if you lie down, the grass being so high, it would be difficult for anyone to really detect.
God, I still got the paintbrush. God damn it. There you go.
Okay, so this barn structure that we see, I think it seems like maybe it would be a good place to shelter up if we're going to be here for a while. We don't. Hey, thank you.
So just move the other one away, and also one more thing I wanted to remind you guys about was in Roll20 you have the red, the green, and the blue numbers above your character whenever you click on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hunter, you're broadcasting. Can you click on the characters to show their numbers?
Yeah.
The green bar is the current hit points.
Mm-hmm.
The blue circle would be temporary hit points.
Okay.
And the red circle would be the number of healing surges left, or I think we had decided to use that for ongoing damage potentially.
Yeah. But I was using it for healing surges because that
in
was
combat.
I mean, I'm fine for
healing
doing
some
it.
mofos.
I'm fine for doing it for healing surges because we can show ongoing through like
Various
Other
other
things,
means.
sure.
Something else.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me adjust that then. Okay, so if we're going to be here, we don't really know where we are, what the weather's like, or what could be flying through the sky. So I think that we should try and take shelter in the barn before we set up camp.
I am against that. I want to be out kind of in the wild.
Yep.
I'm kind of perfectly okay with just like being out in nature.
Okay.
I am in favor of going to the barn. So.
Okay. Well, why don't we make our way?
The island, Hunter. So.
Why don't we make our way to the barn, and we can still, rest outside of it if we so choose, or something like that. But at least we're within shouting distance of each other. If some of us are
I
in the
mean,
barn.
I'm not gonna stay
So
by myself.
it's east, right?
Yeah.
East. Okay. So you guys are just moving straight for the barn, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, hold it. Okay, we get it. We get it. You're moving
Drunken,
east. All right.
swerving fashion.
Well, it's gonna move around.
Okay, and
Yeah, so I don't know how much we mentioned it, but we're using roll20.net is the website and app that we're using, and we are still trying to figure it out. But so far, it seems to be fucking ballin'. So
it is pretty awesome from a DM standpoint.
Yeah. Or from a player standpoint, because that's what we are. We're players.
Okay, so you guys should be able to see some stuff now.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And I'm gonna now use the polygon reveal tool. Nope.
Not quite.
Cedric, how are you still in such good shape, you dick?
Because I didn't try and charge into 17 people and have them dogpile me and kill me.
I got a 7 movement. I'm gonna go move as far as I can and get as close to the biggest guys I can get close
Listen,
to. They feel warm against my skin.
Listen.
All right,
Get
so
shit
now you guys should be able to see the wall of this giant barn.
Yes.
And angles beyond it. Can you scroll around, Hunter, to show?
Yeah.
But you can't see anything on the other side of the barn, right?
Right.
That is correct.
Isn't that fucking rad?
Is this like water or something? What is this? Yeah.
No, that is a okay. So that gray stuff is a road. I didn't mean that to come up. Sorry. That is a simple gravel. Yeah, not pavement or anything like that. Just think of a medieval road. It's not even paved or not even cobbled or stones together. More like smaller gravel stones and path markers along the sides, and then just being worn by time to indicate its path.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so again, the door of this barn, you believe, faces north, just judging from the typical architecture of the barn, and it does in fact have 2 large windows on the 2nd level
That's what the
of
yellow
this
is.
side of the barn. That was what those yellow boxes are.
Cool.
Okay. Winders.
Let's just keep in mind that
For
those
which to
are,
throw out hay.
yeah. So those roads do appear to be heading towards an intersection in the area beyond the barn that you can see.
Okay.
You hear and see nothing else. It is a pastoral field, abandoned, empty,
Okay.
no signs of activity. No,
Okay.
nothing. You don't hear anything but boids.
Okay. No livestock. Do we
No.
see evidence of croppery?
Of what?
Crops having been grown here at some point?
Yeah, the field that you were walking through, you imagine at one time was a very large wheat field. In fact, you probably walked over a trampled fence or two that has long since been knocked over. That might have demarcated farmlands before.
Okay.
And in some places you still do see wheat growing, but amidst wild grasses and other things that would definitely not be suitable for harvest.
Okay. Okay. I know we're not tracking it, but I would like to, grab up some things if I can for some rations and sustenance. It's the sort of thing I would do.
yeah, you can grab some wheat. This definitely
Yeah.
not something you could eat without grinding it into flour and then baking it into something else or
Okay.
something like that. But yeah, you could definitely grab some wheat. It's easy enough to identify what's wheat and what is
Sure.
not.
What's
What is
chaff?
chaff? Huh?
Yeah.
No, see, chaff would actually be part of the wheat. I wasn't going to say that, but you can definitely tell what is useful.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so should we check out this barn? I guess we should check out the barn and make sure it's clear of any dangerous elements, any vermin or anything before we rest.
Okay with that?
Okay. All right. Are
So-
we have short rested now? Are we short rested?
We have not. I
You have
guess.
not.
Okay.
You took off straight for the barn.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if we could just hang out for a couple of minutes and compose ourselves before we bust in the barn.
How long
here.
does a short rest take, out of curiosity?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. You can use as many healing surges as you like
Okay.
to get yourself up to max hit points.
Okay.
You
Alright,
do not
so-
gain back dailies, but you do gain back. Well, you
Encounter
already
power.
have your encounters, and it does not affect your action points.
Alright, so
I want to burn 2 surges.
hang on a second.
And don't
so,
you
since
give
we're
us-
doing a short rest here, I have this song that I would like to start playing that clears everybody's mind. It's Song of Rest. And so it actually basically puts everybody kind of straight into like the REM sleep, and they're like kind of in that half dream state, half awake. And so what that does is each time an ally or myself spins a healing surge, I get to add my charisma modifier to the HP regained.
Oh.
Great.
My charisma modifier, I don't know where to find that. So
If
I have an 18 charisma, and there's like a 5 check next to it.
Yeah. So it's
Yes.
5.
Yes.
Okay, so it's 5.
No.
Okay.
Wait, no. The 5 would also include his half level.
Oh, half
so
level, yeah.
Probably just
18 is a 4. A bonus of 4.
well,
Okay.
12 is 1, 14 is 2, 16 is 3, 18 is 4. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
plus
like I said.
4.
So plus
Alright.
4.
Okay, so healing surge value plus 4.
Wow, that's
Okay.
13 points per surge. So I'm still gonna blow 2, but I'll be at full health.
Oh, okay. Apparently, I thought that I could do like just add it to it, but apparently that's not gonna work.
Well, you can add to your hit points. You just have to do plus and then the number and hit enter, and it'll add it.
Yeah, I did that. For some reason, it just like it actually was displaying in my green circle like something plus something, and I was like, "What?"
Oh, you don't do the whole formula. You just write the plus and then the number. But yeah, it doesn't matter. What ifs?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, feeling a lot better. Let me get rid of that bloodied symbol.
Yeah.
All right.
Boop.
Okay.
All right. So the architecture says the front door's towards the north, but the two
Yes.
roads leading up to it are to the south. That's kind of I mean, like.
Wait, so I think the way that we're looking at the map right now, north is to our left. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
North
Oh,
is to the
to
north.
up. Okay, so we got to go around
Yeah.
the front to get to the door. Okay, we just have windows on this side.
So I'm actually inclined to go towards the south because I feel like that would be more open. If that's where like roads are leading to, like that's probably where like the back entrance or like a lot of the easier place to kind of enter in. Whereas the
I'm
front
happy to
might be
just-
more formal.
Yeah, I'm happy to just check the perimeter of the barn, and we can start at the south. You know what?
All right, stop.
Okay.
Burp, 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 burp. Bow.
Quit banging over there. Quit. Cut it out.
Bow.
This barn is tiny. It's a little tiny little barn.
Well, let's see. How many squares is it wide times 5 feet? That's actually a pretty giant barn.
It's a tiny little barn.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty big barn.
Quit making fun of my barn.
It's
Huh?
tiny. It's tiny like your penis.
Whoa. Why am I following Kogan now?
Yeah, I don't know. You should stop. Okay, so you're skirting the perimeter of the barn. Stop. Ahead
Yes,
of you,
that's
you
correct.
see crossroads where the gravelly area gets much wider,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and you think that's obviously where the crossroads are. And there is a large signpost
Okay.
directly to the east of you, Kogan, that has a bunch of writing and graffiti on it. Too far away to read it from here.
Ooh,
Okay.
graffiti. There are probably youths about. All right.
All I can think of is
Yeah.
the Crossroads by Boyz II Men.
Utes.
Or is that Boyz II Men? Oh,
Okay.
All right.
Excellent. All right. Let's check out the sign. Let's see if we can figure out where the fuck we are.
Okay, stop. Polygon.
I like how you
Review.
turned your paternal like nixing sound into a song.
Okay, the only other feature that you see as the crossroads, so one of them runs from the southwest to the northeast, and one of them just runs north and south.
Okay.
The only other feature you see here is an aging, worn road sign board, and installed more recently, a crucifixion cross, an
Oh,
X,
shit.
but it's
Oh shit.
not in the Christian type; it's in the X type, which was actually still used back then.
So
But
used by the
more like,
Romans.
yeah, right. So yeah, there's a cross stuck in the ground, so it has two the bottom parts of the X are in the ground, and it has leashes and latches built into it, which hang and sway in the wind.
Fuck. So there's nobody attached to it, at least, right?
There is not currently.
But there are no
Day ain't
remains
over.
or anything. Yeah. Right. Does it look well used? I mean, do we see blood? Do we see lash marks? Anything like that? From where we
Based
are?
upon all the dirt that's been kicked up around it, and there's like still some piles of dirt loose from where they dug the holes for it. It's been installed recently.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're kind of far away to tell any other details.
Okay. Fuck, guys. This does not seem to be a friendly land. Okay, let's keep approaching the sign.
Getting closer to the road, you can tell that this is a very well-worn road. There are no weeds that have survived the footprints on it.
Okay.
Roll a history check, any of you.
Okay.
I think I am trained in history, so that's good. Oh, that's not a very good roll.
There isn't.
Okay,
Maybe there's
so-
mine.
So who threw the
Hunter?
die onto the table? Like, what was that about?
Yeah, that's something you can enable
Well,
if you go to My Settings, enable 3D Dice.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
So, still waiting on your history roll there,
Oh, sorry.
Citrus.
So I want to use one of my powers from my sorcerer in your other campaign to re-roll that die.
Right.
What's
So-
up?
Oh, there we go. Somebody knows.
Deal
something.
with it.
Citrus, I have no idea how you know this. I'd love to hear your explanation.
Oh, I don't know why I would either. That's why I was just not gonna roll.
But given the very obvious trampings down of this, you hypothesize that recently large formations of infantry have been using these roads.
Ooh, I know why I would know this. Okay, so let me make
Let's
a
hear it.
bunch of BS real quick. So,
No. That's called role playing.
Right. So anyway, back earlier when I got taken from the Elvish lands or whatever, my friend Eldritch, or Edrich, sorry, he got captured, and I've been looking for him in the Sultanate, and so I've been tracking lots of random soldiers and lots of different factions, and I'm familiar with what kind of formations make what tracks in the ground, I guess. So.
Oh, yeah, because you've been looking for that guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So I just know it randomly because of my tracking skills that I've been using.
Okay.
Cool.
I wonder if I could make a quick nature check to see if I recognize this as the Sultanate, or if it seems to be some other place. Less familiar.
Recognize like this land as the Sultanate? You mean?
Yeah,
Or
recognize
this
the
whole area?
plants, recognize the, yeah.
I will
this
go ahead and
area.
that you
Okay.
do. You do
Okay.
recognize it as that.
Okay.
I was really surprised that we couldn't use Streetwise to. No, it was just a joke.
Well, my nature check of a 12 would indicate exactly that.
I would, yeah, nice 2 there, buddy. 5
Yeah,
and a 2
right.
so far. Very good.
Yeah.
You're working your way up to
strong.
double digits. I would, at any time, you guys listen to arguments for other skills to be used when I have proposed something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I probably would have listened to a convincing argument about Streetwise for this purpose.
Well, I mean, Streetwise just means how wise you are about the street, and since we were analyzing a street, I think it applies.
That's true. That is a literal interpretation.
Yeah, streetwise is knowledge of
welcome.
road construction and travel means.
All right, I want to go read the sign.
Wait,
Oh,
And there's a trap. Now Ian is all the crew.
do you
Oh, God,
share,
it's a monster sign.
Cedrus, do you share? It attacks you with placards.
Yeah, I would probably mention that
Cedrus.
immediately, by the way. So
Yeah.
I mentioned
hear
that
it.
to you guys.
Okay, that there have been big,
let's hear it.
large,
Let's hear it
large
in
numbers.
voice. Let's do it.
Remember
There
to sound like
are,
a satyr. So
yeah, infantry. They pass through here. Lots of them.
Hey, y'all guys! Hey, guys!
I haven't really figured out what voice my
I was
satyrs
hoping
have.
for a lot of like goat noises.
To be fair, I am a
So-
human right now, so
Yeah.
deal with it.
let's just stay away from the goat noises. Actually, Hunter, your webcam appears to have stopped from this side.
What?
Okay.
I see it fine.
Oh, okay.
There
It's
you go.
coming back.
Yeah.
All right. Ian, as a Dragonborn paladin, did you ever march in formation?
No, because there weren't enough of them.
That's
Gotcha.
right, because you come from an isolated monastery.
Yep.
Gotcha. Chad, growing up in the Druid commune that you grew up in, were you ever harassed or surrounded by? Oh my God, Hunter's disappeared.
No, I'm here. I just dropped a bunch
Oh,
of
okay,
stuff.
cool. Chad, were you ever like around large infantry formations? Did armies ever march upon your lands? Things like that.
I imagine so. We were nomadic, so we traveled a lot through the Sultanate, so I'm sure there would be various times and areas where we would have been near large amounts of troops.
So, Chad, after observing the path and the foot markings and all the recent usage of the road, you concur with Cedrus's inexplicable hypothesis that. No, I guess it's not too inexplicable, but you
Yeah.
concur that this does appear to have been recently trod by infantry.
Okay.
Although Kogan, noting the size of the feet and your own feet, note that this is definitely not the work of Dragonborn, which
Well,
good to know.
Kogan also at this point doesn't believe that any other Dragonborn
Yeah.
exists.
So
So.
there would be no, even if they were the same size as mine, I wouldn't assume that they were.
These are some big, fleshy men.
right. So, notwithstanding all that information, you definitely think this is not the work of Dragonborn, and you note that to yourself. Definitely smaller than me.
Okay. Okay. Seems like there were troops. You know, I gotta practice it. I gotta get
That's
it out.
good. That's good. No,
That's
that's good.
good.
That was in character.
That's good.
Very good.
Okay, so what do we find signaways?
All right, you can move across the crossroads now.
Yep.
As you approach the sign, a large grackle alights upon the top of it and gives a caw like that.
Oh, A
And
what?
then-
A grackle?
I
A grackle. Yes.
use my fire breath.
No. First of all, you have
No
ice
reading of
breath.
this sign. Let's light it on fire.
What
do
is,
have
what is
ice.
a grackle exactly?
A large raven,
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That's
like
fine.
a crow,
All right.
a scavenger bird, a smaller scavenger bird. You are aware of larger scavenger birds in this area.
I'm happy to see animals because the previous day, being stuck in the dungeon and stuff, there weren't even any rats or anything. So I'm
Right.
I'm happy to see this this denizen of nature.
Well, it's not very happy to see you.
I
In fact,
see
it
it as an
alights there
omen.
and it goes, "Caw!" and then it leaves.
I
Ah.
see it as an omen, a
Yeah.
bad omen.
Hmm.
Okay, so this signage, there are directions indicating the following in formal Sultanate typeset on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Kendole to the east, Nahavand to the west, and Gormazand to the south. I'll give you all this information. How about this?
Okay, I was
I'll put
like,
in
I'm
the
writing
chat.
it down. I'm like, I don't know how to spell any of this stuff.
Okay.
But
Great.
since the original typesetting of this information on this board, it has been overwritten by crude graffiti. Replacing Nahavan to the west is the word Ordfist, which
Oh.
is something you are now familiar with.
Mm.
And in graffiti overlaying Ordfist are scrawled words, some of which have faded into unreadability, but others of which are easily seen. So imagine like bathroom stall graffiti at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Overlaying Ordfist is certain death, tyrants must die, some more colloquial curse words, we'll say, and also wheat skin bastard, traitor, and child killer.
Oh.
Okay.
So all that is written on Ordfist on Nahavand. To the
Okay.
east, graffiti indicates that Ravensar is now the name for that land, or maybe who rules that land, or maybe some other word you're not unfamiliar with the meaning of.
Okay. How do you spell that?
R-A, let's see, I'll just... There you go.
Okay.
And only one piece of graffiti adorns that signage. The word witch.
Ooh.
Ooh.
There is no graffiti on the directions indicating south, Gormazand, and in fact, it has been crudely but ineffectively scratched out.
Hmm. That's disconcerting.